Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. A potential update for you, depending on how you want to read into this, for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and in particular regarding the future area of Fort Condor. Now, I understand in the original game, Fort Condor was one of those areas and mini-games that some people, okay, they loved it, but a lot of people generally despised it. I personally didn't mind the mini-game itself. I just wasn't a big fan of the whole concept that every 5 minutes during your adventure, you had to stop, trek across the world map in order to get back to Fort Condor to do the next battle. It was kind of irritating, and the rewards for each battle weren't that great. Now, a lot of us expect that this is going to be changed somehow in the remake, along with pretty much everything else, but how this is going to be changed may have just been hinted. Now, if we head over to the official Final Fantasy VII Remake Facebook page, we can see here that a little bit of information has been posted regarding Polk, a new character that's going to be introduced in Intergrade. Now, Polk, we are told, voiced by Daniel Ammerman, is the youngest and newest member of Avalanche headquarters. He's often treated as the younger brother of the team. While he's dedicated to Avalanche's cause, listen to this, his current passion is Fort Condor, a board game that's taken the Undercity by storm. Now, an initial reading of this makes it sound like that Fort Condor is still going to be occupying that mini-game slot in Final Fantasy VII Remake, just as it did in the original game, but it is now going to be a board game that characters talk about and perhaps the player can engage with, rather than an actual physical location. Now, as I say, I did expect a lot of changes to how Fort Condor was going to be implemented in the remake, because, like I say, in the original game, you have to keep traversing the world over and over in order to keep returning there. And the way the remake seems to be going in, it's a far more linear experience. I'm not fully expecting a realised world map in the same sense that we had in the original game. And as such, it makes sense that Fort Condor is going to be changed. Now, my initial reading then is that Fort Condor, rather than being a location, is in fact just going to be this board game. You know, in the original, it sort of didn't make sense that Shinra, they wanted to destroy this giant phoenix bird at this location, and yet every time this organisation that had the world's resources at their disposal were not able to overcome a few soldiers and guards and grunts that this fort was putting in their way. So that seems to address that issue. The question is going to be now whether it is still going to be a physical location, or whether that's been scrapped altogether and it is only going to be a board game. I think what's possibly going to be the case is that Fort Condor is going to be a real location, and it's the folks at Fort Condor that want to protect this bird that have perhaps put out this mini-game in order to drum up publicity for their cause. That's just speculation. As I say, it might not be a physical location anymore, but even if it is, I would suspect that the mini-game part of Fort Condor is being moved over to the board game rather than the location. But yeah, please do share your thoughts as to where you think Square are going with this perhaps polarising aspect of the original Final Fantasy VII with Fort Condor. And do you like the idea that it's going to be a board game, perhaps more, maybe a card game or something along those lines, rather than an actual location we have to keep traversing back to? And as always, for more Final Fantasy VII Remake news, please make sure to stay tuned to the channel. I'll keep you guys updated going forward. Until next time, have a great day.